Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Bringing you guys a game of Conquest on Nelson Bay using the AEK-971 assault rifle with lightweight magnum ammo. Got the 40mm shotty for my underbarrel and M9 for my pistol. And you guys requested some AEK gameplay, so I figured I'd get you one, and got a couple games with it actually, but this was the most fun game I had of the day, and it was actually a really good. This is a pretty good game right here. It's a pretty close game for most of the game, which is rare for me nowadays, and the other team actually puts up a really good fight, and we actually get into a real good standoff at one point, like towards the later half of the game, and we're just like battling it out. Nobody could move. It was pretty cool. I do a little bit of camping in this game. I definitely play more defensive than I normally do, but majority of the first part of the game, it's just me running around, killing people like that, and trying to capture flags and stuff so we could win the game, because that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And that trailer came out today for Battlefield 3, and they finally showed Xbox footage, and looks pretty good if you ask me. I'm happy with it. I'm not disappointed. I wasn't expecting it to look like PC, and it doesn't. It looks like it's it still looks really good for an Xbox game. It looks better than Bad Company 2, which I'm fine with. I'd be happy if it looked just like this game, to be honest with you, because I don't know, graphics don't mean anything. Well, they do, but not as much as like gameplay and whatnot. And the gameplay will be there and everything, so I'm happy with it. Definitely still looking forward to it. Still no word on the beta though, which kind of sucks. But you know, it happens. What are you gonna do? Keep on keeping on. Just waiting for that shit. Probably come like the last day of the month. I would not be surprised at all, and it would probably piss me off. Not really. It just kind of sucks because they said early September, but it's like we're past early September. Oh, and right here, my buddy Embers kills me. He got on the other team, and he's like the only person who kills me the first couple deaths actually. But yeah, not gonna really talk about the gameplay of this game. Last upload I mentioned, you know, I might talk about, you know, some crazy shit like aliens and conspiracies and that sort of thing, and a lot of people actually wanted to hear me talk about that kind of stuff, and I've been thinking about it and how to like approach this, because this is like it's kind of a sensitive subject, and like I know people in real life who literally will get pissed off when you bring shit like this up. Like they will literally get mad because a lot of it goes against everything that you've been told your whole life, and shit like that's just hard for people to deal with, I guess. And but you know, that's just how it is. I'm just gonna share shit that I've learned. Believe it, don't believe it. It doesn't really matter. Just I don't know. She'll probably get you thinking, but I guess I'll start from the beginning of how like I kind of got into this whole, I don't know, conspiracy type shit, and I've actually been in it for quite a while now, since I was like 16, 17, something like that. I was living in Sacramento, and actually a funny story of how I kind of got involved in, or not involved, but just learning about the type of shit, because it's pretty trippy, and I like to learn random stuff and whatnot. It intrigues me, I guess, but anyways, pretty much how I came about this information was, I met this one dude, and I'm not gonna name any names or anything, but a friend of mine, and he's 100% Native American, and he's like super Native American. He's like super mysterious dude. He's a trip. I never met anybody like him, and he pretty much, you know, told me about all this crazy stuff about like the Illuminati and Masons and aliens and ancient Egypt and Sumeria and all this crazy shit. And but how I met the guy, it was a pretty funny story. Basically, a friend of mine stayed a night at my house, and we kicked it and smoked a joint, and I was like 17 at the time, 16, something like that, I forget. It was a while ago, like I said. And he brought some mushrooms, and he took some mushrooms, and a friend of mine, or the guy who he got him off of was all like, hey, these are really strong, only take this amount. He ended up taking 3 times the amount that he said. He took a lot. I forget how much, but he took about over a quarter, or about a quarter ounce. And quite a bit. And because he took some and he wasn't feeling it or whatever, he took a whole bunch more. And basically what happened was, like, we were kicking it, and we were eating food and whatnot, and then ended up going to sleep. And this fool was still tripping balls, and I went to sleep, and this fool wakes me up at, I forget what time it was, but he wakes me up, and he's like super tripped out of his mind, and he's all saying how he needs to go to the hospital and all this crazy shit. And I guess my cat like jumped in the room and freaked him out, and like it walked on him and like meowed, and he said it went meow, and like it hella freaked him out. He was like so freaked out, and at one point he's all like, he looked at me all crazy, and he's all, man, nothing makes any sense anymore. He hella just like opened my door and runs down the street like screaming. I had to chase this guy down, and basically what happened, I went to go get him something to drink. I got a glass of milk, and I went to go get it to him, and when I came back, he was on the phone with his parents, and his parents can come and pick him up, and like, they're all, what did he do? I'm all, he took some mushrooms, he's a little out there right now. And they ended up taking him to the hospital, and they had absolutely nothing for him, because there's nothing they could do. They basically made him sit in a room and trip balls the rest of the night. And and the next day I go to the skate park, because I used to go to the skate park every day back then when I was living up in Sac. And basically I told that story to like 1 million people. Everybody wanted to know, because it was pretty funny. He like ran down the street screaming. I had to go chase him down and all this. And actually, when he was going to the hospital, he punched his dad in the face. And it's pretty funny, because now I'm totally cool with his parents. They were kind of like iffy for a little bit about it and whatnot, but we're totally cool now. Oh, watch this guy get owned. He gets dropped. Ooh. It's that 40 mil. But yeah, me and that guy's parents are totally cool now. Like, I'll go over there when he's not there, and like parents will like make me food and shit. Totally cool. But it was pretty funny. And I told the story to everybody, and I met this one dude, and 100% Native American. He's like by far the trippiest guy I've ever met. And he trips a lot of people out. He used to fuck with the Jehovah's Witnesses and like tell them some crazy shit, and they'll like hell be talking to him for hell long, because this guy knows everything about all that sorts of stuff, about religion and whatnot. But this guy just pretty much learnt me on game on this shit, and he used to tell me, and I used to think he was crazy about it. He's all, yeah, man, there's group of people out there, and they control the world, and they run everything, and like all this shit. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But over the years, he'd keep saying it, and then I would see the stuff that he would be saying and whatnot. And definitely learning about this type of shit that has changed my outlook on life, I guess. And in some ways, not every way. But I'm pretty much to the point now when it comes to the Illuminati and Masons trying to control the world and all this nonsense. I really don't even care anymore. It's just not something that I don't concern myself with anymore. I've known about it for so long, and I'll still like check up on shit like that and whatnot. But I'm definitely not as into it as I used to be. But when you talk about like aliens and shit, ooh, I'm all up in the alien shit, and I find it trippy now, because like I'm like really interested in this type of information. And when I was like a real little kid, like before I even knew what aliens were, like 3, 4, 5 years old, I used to have like crazy ass dreams with aliens in them, and it used to fucking trip me the fuck out. And I used to be like scared to death of them when I was like a little kid, and I used to have gnarly ass dreams, and still do have crazy ass dreams, but dreams are fun. I like dreams. Love controlling my dreams. I figured out how to control my dreams when I was in like 7th grade, and pretty much turn any dream into whatever I want. And basically, if you want to know how to do that, if you don't, when you're in the dream, you realize you're in the dream, just think about something really, really hard, and it'll happen. And it's pretty funny when it does, and it'll trip you out. And I could even like have a dream, wake up, and then go back to sleep and continue on dreaming the same dream. And that shit's pretty cool. I have some cool dreams. I like sleeping. It's fun. And yeah, but the aliens and all that, Do I believe in aliens? Of course I believe in aliens. You know, people are all like, oh, are we alone in the world? We ain't alone. We've never been alone. From day one, never been alone. We've always been here. And, you know, I've been watching the History Channel a lot, and they got that show, Ancient Aliens. It's a pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. If you never watched it, definitely recommend watching it. It's cool, but, you know, they don't present it that well, like some of the information. There's a lot more information out there than what they're showing you. And, it's basically like it's basically like that book, Chariots of the Gods. It's pretty much what it is. That whole series is that book. You know, for the most part. There's other stuff in it they talk about, but if you're not familiar with the show, basically what it is they talk about, like, angels and shit being misinterpreted as being aliens and shit, and, you know, get you thinking. It makes sense. Definitely makes the Bible and whatnot more believable, because then you're like, oh, well, instead of angels and demons, if you just replace that with aliens, it makes a little bit more sense. And, like, when you go into, like, immaculate conceptions with Jesus and all that, like how he's the son of God, well, you know, he could have been a alien-human hybrid. You never know. And but shit like that definitely makes more sense to me than, you know, the whole angels and whatnot. Not that I don't believe that there's a God or anything like that, because I definitely do believe that the universe is built by design, just because of how alignments are, how certain things will align, like in the perfect geometric shapes and whatnot. I don't know. There's too many coincidences when it comes to all this stuff, and it definitely gets you thinking. My mom thinks I'm nuts. I talk to her about it all the time, and whenever I go visit her, she's all like, she lives with my cousin, her niece, and every morning when I wake up, she's all, did you get any word? I'm like, what word? And they're all, are the aliens coming? I'm like, oh my god, you know. I keep on telling them that they're already here, because they are already here. And, you know, there's a lot of proof out there if you know where to look. And you definitely got to watch out where you get your information from. There's a lot of disinformation out there to confuse people and make people believe in certain things. And, ooh, excuse me. Oh, and this part of the gameplay right here, I was just holding it down on this hill. And the one guy, he wanted my chain so bad. He ends up getting it, but he wanted my chain so bad. And it was so funny, the couple games after, this guy was just chasing me down. He was chasing everybody down, and every time we seen him, he'd be in full sprint, and we'd just wet him up. But he ends up getting my chain at one point. But this part of the game right here was just a battle, and pretty much I'm just trying to hold down these two flags and win the game, and pretty much just picking people off left and right. And real quick about this gun, I don't really like this gun. It's, for those of you that don't know, it's a fully automatic M16. It has the same stats. It has no damage drop off. It does the same damage at close range and long range, which I believe is 6 bullet kills with Magnum ammo. It's probably 7 without it. And you know, it's pretty good. The iron sights are kind of weird. They're easy to use, but I get confused in them and shit and whatnot. But yeah, there's that guy right there. That guy wanted my chain so bad. What are you gonna do? And damn, this is a long-ass video. I hope you guys can bear with me, but I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this whole aliens and whatnot. And I'm not gonna go full-fledged into it. Just gonna give you a little bit. If you quest more, I'll do some more information about this. And recently, Wings of Redemption. I'm sure you guys know who he is, because most of you probably came from his channel to mine. But you know, he'll do videos about this sorts of stuff, and it gets some people seem to be interested in it. And one thing that cracks me up, that he's really into Carl Sagan, and I'm not a big fan of Carl Sagan. And basically, Carl Sagan was put into place to keep people on a need-to-know basis. He was a part of the disinformation, you know, and all that. That's him and Stephen Hawking and those guys are all a part of the disinformation. They want you to believe in something like Stephen Hawking is all like, oh, aliens, we don't want to contact them. They'll be hostile. They'll fucking kill us and all this shit. And that's totally not the case. I don't believe that they're coming here to fucking kill us. If they wanted to do that, they could have easily done that already by now. I'm sure they could. And but you seen that movie Independence Day. I'm sure they could roll in just like that and fuck shit up if they wanted to. But if they wanted to do that, they would have already done it by now. I mean, who knows? They could have did it in the past, and that's why civilizations just get wiped out of nowhere. Get wiped out of nowhere with no trace of them and whatnot. It's all very big mystery, I must say. But hold on a second, I gotta take a drink of my tea. Someone said Arizona's going out of business. Someone please confirm that that's not true, because if that happens, I will be fucked. Because I love me my Arizona iced tea. They're so good. I don't know what it is about them. I just really like them. And but yeah, I hope they're not going out of business. That would be very bad, very very bad. But yeah, on the whole aliens let's go into 2012 real quick. 2012 is an interesting sort of thing. Now, do I believe that the world's gonna end? No. Don't believe the world's gonna end. And even if the world did end, the world wouldn't end. We might not be on it anymore, but the world will still be here. Most likely, unless some super crazy shit happens. Oh, right there, that guy gets my chain. He finally got it. I guess I deserved it, though. I was kind of camping there for a while, but I was just trying to hold it down. But 2012, don't really believe the world's gonna end. First of all, apocalypse does not mean the end of the world. It means something hidden to be unveiled. What that is, who knows? It's up for speculation. What do I think what's going to happen? I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know what to think what's going to happen. I've heard so many things of what's going to happen. Shit like we shift our frequency in the 5th dimension, and because there is more than one dimension. We're in the 3rd dimension. But I believe scientists confirmed at least 11. I'm sure there's more than that, but I'm pretty sure it's a scientific fact that there's at least 11 confirmed different dimensions. And that kind of ties into the whole ghost phenomenon. And I actually believe that ghosts are real, but they're not ghosts like how you would think of a ghost, like a dead spirit. I think they're just fucking beings from different dimensions, just tuning in and out. Think of it like a radio. You tune into a radio station, and you turn the dial to go to a different station. That's what they're doing. I think that they're just going through the stations, and sometimes we get to see them. And I actually have a picture of a ghost, but it's actually a really funny story that I can't really get into. But little ghost action happened, and I got a picture of it on a Polaroid. My uncle did, and there was like a whole bunch of people in the garage, and it scared the shit out of a whole bunch of big crazy ass motherfuckers that you don't want to fuck with in the real life, and it made them go running down the street. And I had a picture of it. I don't know what happened with it, but it was a trip. You could totally see like a dude there, and it was like smoky kind of looking, and he had glasses on, and like it was like half of a outline of his face, and you had some detail on one side of the face. On the other side, it was like just the outline, and it was just a really trippy picture. And I trip out about shit like that. It gets me thinking. I definitely like learning about shit like this because I don't know, it's cool. And it's pretty funny that I like learning about this shit now because I absolutely hated school and whatnot. But yeah, I do a lot of my time. I look up into this shit, and but this shit's coming to an end. I can't believe I talked for this long. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, I do all my commentaries in one take, one go, one thing through. So sometimes I fumble around a little bit because I'm trying to think of something to say. But yeah, first take on all my commentaries. I just thought I'd throw that in there, but end up winning the game right there, even though it says we lost, but that's a glitch. And I went 43-11. And just kind of held it down that game. Real fun game, though. And the team actually had some fight in them, which was a good thing. Well, anyways, guys, let me know if you want to hear more about this stuff. Peace. Have a good one.